Hello again and welcome. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. Today is the 28th of October, 2021. A lot of headlines that we're paying attention to. Markets are moving, so you should be too. Thanks for watching and let's get right to it. So right out of the gate, we got a huge economic number today. It was the third quarter print for the GDP, and we've come down. We've actually hit the number, which was below expectations. They were expecting well over a 2% number. We got actually right on the dot, a 2% growth for the third quarter of 2021. Now, what does that mean? Well, year over year, the rate of change is changing, meaning it's coming down. So we anticipated that we wouldn't have a growth as robust as we had the previous, let's say, 3 or 4 quarters. Now let's go back. History shows us sort of, are we growing as a U.S. economy or not? Well, we started the pandemic prior to, in that February time frame, if you look at the U.S. economy at the time, as measured by the GDP, gross domestic product. Now keep in mind why that's important. It's basically measuring all the goods and services in the U.S. economy, and if that number grows, that means that our economy is healthy, thriving, and we are growing, and we're moving in the right direction. At that time, we had all the former administration's policies in place, tax policies and everything else taking hold, and the economy was all-time unemployment lows, all-time highs in markets, and the list goes on. So we were in a strong foundational setting prior to the pandemic in March of when it hit both us in the US and around the world. Now, we were at $19 trillion of that. Now, keep in mind, $19 trillion, 70% of this number it basically is the U.S. consumer. So that's you at home and me and what we spend money on and the economy. So where we are today, we're at $23 trillion. So we did expand over the course of a year and a half to 2 years, which is, no one would have thought that. I mean, that's almost incredible number to see that the U.S. economy can be that productive, even when we don't exchange business face to face, but business still can get done. So keep that in mind. But over that period of time, obviously the third quarter, we opened back up. Last year, we had a print of 33.8%, which is historically speaking, one of the all-time, if not the all-time, for one quarter GDP growth. And we all know that's because Federal Reserve as well as Congress came to the rescue, and they gave checks directly to businesses, checks directly to the consumer. Okay, and that's important. So when the consumer and businesses get money in hand, then they have the ability to inject that into the economy, and the economy grows, as we're seeing here clearly. So that's why we pay attention to that, because if the dollars are out there in the economy, we know businesses some businesses will get more profitable than other businesses depending upon what their value proposition is. The reality is that business is growing and unemployment, again, is still persistently high, but everyone that I talk to, all our small business owners, everyone on the 100 plus earnings reports that came out this week that we're monitoring at Blanke Schein Wealth Management for our clients and these corporations that are reporting, every single one of them is not so much the supply chain constraints. Obviously, that's important. The inflation's running hot and sort of goods and services, that's important. It's the number one issue. It's labor. So labor is an issue. So that means the economy is, again, thriving, and then we need a labor. So we have a labor shortage as small business owners and owners. And so we're looking to expand here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management as well. And we have something up our sleeve for you. So just stay tuned. We're excited to announce it in the next few weeks. To help us with this next topic, the next topic is Biden's tax plan. Now, his framework going forward is essentially going to be paid for 100%. So you don't have to worry about it. He said this morning, don't worry about it. President Biden got what he wanted as a deal in principle, the framework, before he got on the plane, Air Force One, and heads off to the G20 summit, which is in Rome. And he can show up and say the United States is participating in a big way because we've got a Green New Deal, climate change initiative. We are participating in a big way. And that's what he ultimately wanted, is that he had to get that done so that he could show up to the world stage and flex our U.S. muscle, saying, hey, we're here at the party just as well. That being said, who's going to pay for it and how is it paid for is going to be revealed to us in the weeks and months to come. But here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, we're spending a lot of time with our tax professionals and a lot of insiders in Washington and sort of how to position our portfolios appropriately once we finally know sort of what's in it after it's passed, and ultimately how do we position with our tax advisors and our relationships on a go-forward basis. Like I said before, we're preparing for this internally for our clients proactively. So there'll be more to report on that. And as always, you can always contact us for a year-end review, and we're reaching out to you as well to position ourselves for the fourth quarter of this year tax-wise, but also our tax-smart strategies for next year. And that's what we're planning on doing. But inside this bill, there's $400 billion of IRS tax enforcements. So when they say it's offset and it's sort of a neutral sort of play, I think it's only a play on words, because I think they've got sort of another sort of strategy up their sleeve, and as indication as to where they're spending the tax dollars in this bill. And finally, our last topic of the day, and let me get it for us while I can discuss it here. I have lost it and I've forgotten. I'm doing a senior moment here. No, it's actually the G20 summit. So that's it. I was just talking about why everything's sort of interconnected. One, we have a growing economy, and that's why Congress is saying, wait a minute, if the economy is growing, if corporations are growing, they have the ample money, they could do a lot of serious things, a series of things to sort of tax, and that tax that they bring in can offset their spending. Now, we'll go through it again. I don't want to take too much time today, but I wanted to give you the real-time update as to what we're paying attention to at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, so you should be too. And we'll be in touch to discuss your year-end planning. Take care. Have a great day.